Hi and welcome, it's Jennifer McGuire and I have another quick tip video for you. And this is a tip on how to get your best image when you use a new stamp. Now maybe you've reached for a stamp before for the first time, and when you stamp it you get the results that you see on the left. It looks kind of splotchy, can be very discouraging. Well, I wanted to show you a tip so that you can get the results that you see on the right. It's a very easy tip. Many of you I'm sure have done this before, but I realize that I often use my stamps before I use them in a video, so I've never shown this on screen before. So I thought I'd do so today. To demonstrate this, I've picked a few pretty basic solid stamp shapes, and I'm going to do the trick on half of the stamp but not on the other half so you can see the difference. So this is a brand new, never used stamp. I'm going to ink up half of it. Normally you would ink up the whole thing, but I want to show you the difference today. I'm going to ink up half of it with Versamark ink, so you can see I'm just inking that up. And then I'm kind of wiping the ink off with my hand. Just a quick wipe right on the palm of my hand. So a little bit of it is left behind, but not much at all. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some dye ink. This works with any dye inks. Generally, pigment inks will stamp good right away on a new stamp, but not so much with dye inks. So look at when I stamp that. On the left is where I treated it first with Versamark ink, where I gave it a little bit of love with some Versamark ink. And on the right is where I did nothing to it. So that's a fresh new stamp, right away inked up with dye ink, and you can see it looks kind of splotchy. So I think it's best to give your stamp a little bit of love first with some Versamark ink, or just use the stamp a bunch and kind of twist the ink off on some scrap paper. But it really does make a big difference. Now these are US made stamps because I find the quality of US made stamps are the best. So if you get a splotchy result, do not think it's because your stamp or your ink is bad. It might just be that it needs a little love first. You can also try this with non-US made stamps, and it may give you better results also. Okay, so here's another stamp, pretty basic shape here. I'm again just going to ink up half with Versamark so you can see the comparison. But normally when I get a new stamp, I just ink it up with Versamark, wipe it off on my palm, and then ink it up and stamp with it as I normally would. So here I'm going to ink up the whole thing now. Remember, only half of it was treated with the Versamark ink first. And now when I stamp this, you'll see that the left is much more solid than the right. Now this will smooth out quite a bit. Most dye inks will smooth out with time, so you'll get a smooth result there on the left, but that right side would stay pretty splotchy. Now I will say I don't always have to do this. I find that some combinations of brands of stamps and some brands of inks do just fine right away without loving the stamps a little bit first with Versamark. But it's a good habit to get into just so you can be sure you get good results right from the get-go. Here are a few more examples where I kind of treated the stamp first with Versamark ink on the left, and you can see the big difference between the two sides here. And here's another example here with the bird. You can see the back half of the bird there on the left is much more solid than on the right. Now I will say that this isn't always necessary and it doesn't always work, but in most cases I find I get better results by just simply inking up a new stamp with Versamark ink, wiping it off on my palm, and then stamping it with my dye ink as I normally would. So that's my quick tip for today. If you want more information, you can click on my logo here on the top left. That'll take you over to my blog. In the middle are two other videos that might be helpful. On the left is kind of an information video on why I like using craft foam for dimension on my cards. And on the right is a video all about inks. So it helps explain the difference between different types of inks. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you again soon.